described as a root, because when it takes root, it just spreads and spreads. I have a plant, not in dirt, but in water. And this plant I had for so many years, it's my husband's, so I'm really trying to keep it alive, because I have a bad reputation with plants. But you can actually see those roots, and you add through the glass, and you actually see the roots getting bigger and longer and stronger. Now, if that was covered, that it wasn't a glass jar that you could see through, you wouldn't be seeing what's taking place. So it's always referred to and described as a root. Now think about that. You can't see a root normally, and it's deep down in the ground. But you can be sure of this. A bitter root will produce that bitter fruit. It will affect your personality, and it will affect all the people who have to deal with you and who are around with you. Now, if you have bitterness in the inside, it's going to affect every area of your life. It's going to affect your attitude. Many people attempt to bury the hurt and the pain deep in their hearts or in their subconscious mind. They don't realize it, but much of their inner turmoil is because their own heart is poisoned. You listening?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. If you don't get it the first time, get the tape and play it over and over again. It's not a tape anymore, it's a CD. I'm still back in the other generation. The Word of God says in the book of Proverbs, and in chapter 4 and verse 23, it says, "Keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it spring the issues of life." Now, who's responsible to keep their heart? You are. That's your responsibility. You can have the whole world praying for you, but you're responsible to keep your own heart right. Out of it springs the issues of life. In other words, if you have that bitterness inside of you on the inside, it's going to end up contaminating everything that comes out of you. You can tell an angry person, can't you?
Yes.
It will contaminate your personality, your attitude, as well as how you treat other people. And don't tell people, "I'm sorry, I had a bad day." We all have bad days. There's no reason to treat other people with any kind of anger or hostility. Our day starts with the Lord saying, "This is the day the Lord has made. We shall be bitter about it."
No.
No. We shall what? We shall rejoice and we shall be glad in it. The devil can't stand to see you rejoicing. And somebody along the way is going to always come along to try and rob your joy.
Yes. Yes.
But you're not going to let them, because you're going to recognize this. You have to be toxic free. They sell so many things to detox your body. I never saw so many things. They even had those pads that you put on your feet.
Yes.
They still have that?
I don't
They're
know.
supposed to detox your body. And that's so nice. And I'm not against anybody who's health-minded. See, I know you're... Listen to the words. Not against, but we're more concerned about detoxing our bodies than we are concerned about detoxing our spirit and our hearts. And we got to get our priorities in order and have our eyes open and see what's happening all around of us. We're getting toxic poisoning, and we can't permit that to happen. And I shared this story a while ago. I used it several times because I believe it makes its point for itself. It's not in the Bible. But a few decades ago, several American companies were authorized by the United States government to bury toxic waste products under the ground. They filled large metal containers with chemical waste, and they sealed the drums very, very tightly. And they buried it down deep in the topsoil, below the topsoil. They thought that that was the end of it, that it was all over, and they had a solution to these poisonous toxics. But within a short time, many of the containers started to leak, and the toxic waste started seeping to the surface, causing all sorts of problems. And in some locations,